Listen to these bad boys bark. On the gate tonight for the C-Class, we have J-Lab, Grizz, Mojo, Landry, Shearer, Dig, Panda, FTY, Mr. Spooby, Barber, Gaijin, Flowers, Van Meel, Sink Envy, Bryce, and Barboza. So we will do one quick check for jump starts here as this gate is about to drop. The 15-second board is sideways, and here we go for C-Class Moto number 1 from Maryland. Barber gets a good inside drive and is going to find himself in the hole shot as he is followed closely by Grizz Films in second place, but Grizz gets into the back fender of Barber and goes down. Shearer, a new addition to the C-Class, finds himself sitting in second, battling with Dig as Dig takes that position away. Shearer falls back to third. Here comes Mr. Flowers on that Throttle Junkies Yamaha. Mojo finding himself in the 5th place spot, as Van Meel, your series points leader, opted to take a 2-stroke. Oh no, Mojo finds himself sideways and creates a huge pileup. That's going to give way for J-Lab and the top 4 riders here to just check out cleanly. We're going to see a big gap, most likely, between these top 4, as it is Barber representing Backyard MX who's holding down the 1st place spot, but he has got his work cut out for him as here comes Dig, Shearer, and Mr. Flowers all trying to put the work in and catch up. So can Barber hold on to this number 1 spot and take a moto overall here in C-Class? Only time will tell, as we are only 1 minute into this 20-minute moto, and just look how stacked this lobby is as there are riders everywhere in battles with one another. Barber really trying to hold off Dig here, but here comes Dig trying to sweep around the outside, gets slowed up by Barber, can't make the full run that he wants to into the uphill. Both riders opt to take the inside. Dig tries to cut in a little harder and make a pass around Barber, but he's not able to get it done. Barber riding very defensively here. This next section is going to be where Dig can make a pass if he's going to do it at all. Both riders opting to take the outside. Barber loses the back end, causes himself a mistake, and there goes Dig just like that. But Dig makes a mistake, blows the berm. They are now bar to bar as Barber doubles over. Here we come to the step down, back across the start straight. Barber does not want to let that number 1 spot go, so he's going to get back on the throttle and try to make a pass for Dig, but Dig protecting the inside line. Barber gets pushed out. Here comes Shearer trying to take the number 2 spot away from Barber. Really, we are in the exact same position that we were at the beginning of lap number 1, with the exception that we now have a new race leader in Dig. So Barber sitting in second. Mr. Flowers makes the pass on Shearer into third. Shearer falls back to 4th. It's J-Lab who still holds the number 5 spot. Van Meel has worked his way around that chaos into 6th and almost caught this leading pack. Panda sits in 7th, FTY in 8th. Mr. Spooby, a.k.a. Sir Lose-A-Lots on the Start Your Systems Kawasaki, is sitting in 9th. And it's Landry who was in 10th but now loses that spot to Barboza, as Barboza's trying to make a pass on Spooby right now and push his way up. So let's go back up front to this battle for the lead now, as Dig is still right there. It's anybody's game in this top 4 run. Uh-oh, Flowers makes a mistake, and Shearer gets caught up with him, so Barber gets a free Christmas gift right there, as he now has breathing room. Doesn't have to worry so much about the space around him, doesn't have to worry about losing the position so soon, but he still has his work cut out for him. 16.5 minutes left on the clock. Trying to push up and catch on to Dig and not let him go very far. He needs to latch on, match his pace, and move away from the rest of this pack. J-Lab on the Woody Graphics Yamaha finds himself sitting in 3rd, and it's Van Meel, our series leader, who has pushed his way into 4th now because of that mistake. Shearer falls back to 5th, Flowers back to 6th, Panda still sitting in 7th, FTY in 8th. But look here, man, Spooby, Barboza, Landry, Sink Envy. It's still very much anybody's game. Barboza makes a mistake and loses the front end, so Landry is going to make that pass. Let's go back up front here as Dig now crosses the finish line. So let's check what his lap time was. Dig with a 143.6. Barber with a 146. J-Lab running a 144. Van a 143. So Van's got the speed to catch up to J-Lab and to Barber very quickly. Of course, it's going to say that these are their last lap and their best lap, because that's the only lap that has been counted in terms of a lap time. So we will see what happens. Van Meel takes the inside line away from J-Lab and pushes himself up, but J-Lab gets it right back. J-Lab gets the inside jump. Van does not. The inside is the more optimal line choice there, so Van's still not able to make the pass stick, but here he goes, gets a good drive on the berm, Makes the pass in the air past J-Lab with the heel clicker. Don't celebrate too early, Van. J-Lab's going to try to show him a tire. Uh-oh, Barber makes a mistake, loses the back end, and luckily he was far enough up the hill that he didn't get slow physics, but just like that, blink of an eye, 3 positions disappear. So Barber now pushes back, or falls back, rather, in between Shearer and Mr. Flowers. So NBA Dig, a.k.a. Dig, still sitting in first. Van Mil has now moved himself up into second place. J-Lab in third. J-Lab with a good, consistent ride, letting everybody else in this track kind of die 1,000 deaths and crash themselves out. Shearer has moved his way up to fourth as Barber almost lands on him in fifth place. So once again, Shearer, Barber, and Mr. Flowers all battling it out here. So Van Mil makes a mistake. J-Lab actually gets back around him. So this is probably going to be one of the better rides that we have seen from J-Lab in the Backyard MX Season 2. As Van Mil falls back and goes down bad. So Shearer now moves up into third. Van Mil gets pushed back to fourth. He's got Barber, Panda, and Mr. Flowers all barking at him here. Mr. Flowers goes down, makes a mistake. Here comes FTY, Spooby, Landry, Barboza. The pack is stacked, boys. You cannot make a mistake or you will pay the price. Barber and Panda have to keep it clean and consistent because if they go down, look at the riders behind them just waiting to take that spot away. Van Mil gets a little squirrely there as he takes the common line, rails the outside, cuts to the inside, and comes back up the hill. Shearer trying to get as close as he can to J-Lab and latch on. I think I mentioned earlier that Shearer was a new addition to the C-Class, as was Mr. Flowers and FTY. So all of those riders here sitting within the top 10 trying to prove that they do belong here in the Backyard MX lettered class, in the C-Class. Van Mil opting to ride the 125 here. Said he was going to drop a 145 lap time, and so far he's bested that by almost 2 seconds, but that last lap saw a mistake. Uh-oh, J-Lab makes a mistake, loses another position, or 2 rather, so Shearer now moves up into second place, and here comes Van Mil in third. So Shearer not really having a stake in the points here in the C-Class Championship Series. So it's not going to hurt Van Mil very much if for some reason Shearer is able to win this race. But Van Mil still got 12 minutes plus 2 laps to get around him and head for the front. The problem is Dig has already checked out by about 10 seconds on these guys, so it's going to be tough for Van Mil to get the #1 spot. Van Mil is capable of a lap time faster than Shearer by about a half second or so, as he has proved here in Moto #1. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Check back in on this battle in just a minute as we see Panda is still battling with J-Lab. FTY moves up. Where has Barber gone? Barber has fallen back to probably 9th, I believe. We will see when timing and scoring updates in just a minute, but here comes Landry still trying to put the pressure on Flowers and Spooby as Landry sends it down the hill. Oh no! That's going to be a hard reset for Flowers as he finds himself in Goose's Pond here at Maryland. So Backyard MX's own Barber finds himself moving up with another gift in this moto. Spooby gets away cleanly, as does FTY, sorry. J-Lab battling with Panda, so Van Mil comes across, still sitting in third. Shearer has gapped him by about 5 seconds in second place. Uh-oh, Shearer makes a mistake and goes down. Van Mil is going to capitalize on that and close that gap once again. Van Mille just got to keep it clean and consistent. Oh, he almost tucks the front, gets a little bit of a wobble there, and does end up going down. Pushes himself to the outside line, trying to protect his fast line here from J-Lab. Uh-oh, J-Lab gets into it with him. Somehow Van Mille just gets bumped off course, but manages to keep it up on 2 wheels. So we are bar banging here at Maryland with half this moto gone. Van Mille has got to protect himself here because he is in the points lead, but man, every position counts, every lap counts, and look, if he makes a mistake, he's got Panda, Spooby, J-Lab, Barber, FTY, Landry, and Flowers all ready to answer that call. So the time for comfort has gone, Van Mille. You got to get on it. Shearer still sitting in second, and Dig, man, Dig just living his best life out front. Cruising his Harley down the highway, listening to some tunes. Might even be drinking and driving. I don't know. He looks super comfortable, though. Not Van Mille. Van Mille back here, still very much pressured by Panda. So with 9.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go, we will see what Van Mille's got in store. Something tells me Van's going to say, hey, can I leave and come back on a 4-stroke for Moto 2? Please? Let's see here. Let me get a recount. Dig in first, Shearer in second, Van Mille in third, Panda in fourth. It's J-Lab in fifth, so somebody's lap didn't count. It's Van Mille's, I believe, unless he just has a significant amount of cuts. Has to. Let's see what they are. Van Mille has a 10-second cutting penalty right now. So even though he currently sits in the 3rd place spot, he has fallen back to 7th because of how close these guys are behind him. So that gap that Shearer had on Van Mille is starting to close. The good news is Van has just under 8 minutes to catch Shearer, make a pass, and try to gap these guys behind him and overcome his 10-second cutting penalty as him and Panda come into the line together going over that tabletop. Accidentally connect. Panda throws the hand up, says, sorry, man. Van fortunately keeps it up on 2 wheels and makes that pass back. So, just off there in the distance, you can see Panda goes down. So here comes J-Lab and Barber as well as Spooby and Mr. Flowers trying to catch up. So Panda trying to pressure Van Mille, makes a mistake, goes down, and now is getting all of the pressure from J-Lab as he makes a pass on the inside, and here comes Barber as well. So Shearer is going to cross the finish line here in second. You can see he's got a 16-second gap between him and Dig as Dig falls back. I feel like FTY's lap didn't count, and so he's just kind of given up when, in fact, he may not be aware that he can continue to ride and keep going. We can fix that for him. That's very easy to tell in the results if a lap didn't count. But nevertheless, at this point, some of these guys who have just been added to the C class, this is just kind of fun racing experience for them. It's really far too late in the championship to make an impact for a series title contention. So I guess no harm to FTY if he wants to sit there on the side of the track. We can discuss that afterwards, though. J-Lab coming up in 4th. Panda, it looks like, loses all 3 spots, so he does lose a spot to J-Lab, does lose a spot to Barber, and Mr. Spooby gets around as well. So Barber having a good ride here in 5th with 6.5 minutes left on the clock, trying to catch back up to J-Lab and make a pass. Barber probably felt really good about being in the lead early in the moto and would like to get as close to the front as he possibly can, but he's got a big gap between him and Shearer for second. All right, thank you. If you could DM Paradox, please, he will make sure to take a look at it during points. So Dig still in first, pretty far out. Let's take another look here as he has not gained any time on Shearer in that last lap. Shearer actually made up about a fraction of a second on him, but still 16 seconds behind as Shearer sits in second. Van Meel still in third, but remember, Van Meel has that 10-second cutting penalty, and if you look on the left side of your screen, it has punished him all the way back to 7th. So Van Meel really has to hard charge. But J-Lab still in 4th, Barber in 5th, Smooby in 6th, and Panda in 7th. So let's take a look here. Uh-oh, as Barber makes a mistake and goes down, does fall back and ends up losing 2 spots in the blink of an eye. So J-Lab still very much has his work cut out for him, as he's got 3 riders, right behind him who are looking to capitalize and take his position away if he makes a single mistake. And as you see, Van Meel just passed over the triple in front of the screen there, so they are catching up to him as well. It's this pack that Van's got to separate from. It's this pack that's causing him to lose 4 positions off of his podium spot because of that 10-second cutting penalty. So let's take a look at lap times here and try to figure this out. As you can see, Van Meel with the 143, J-Lab with a 144, Spooby with a 143 or 144 depending on his lap, Panda with a 143, Barber with a 143. So these guys just really, I mean, if I have to guess, I'm going to say that Van Meel is going to finish in 6th or 7th by the end of this moto, because he does not have the raw speed on these guys to be able to gap them by 10 seconds unless they begin making mistakes. And none of these guys want to make a mistake because of how deep their pack already is, so the chances of them doing it are even more unlikely because they're riding so you know, precise, so calculated. Here comes Barber, though, as he did make a mistake and did fall back, and that allows Mojo to catch up. So Mojo on the Wicked Racing Honda, who we have not spoken with or spoken about in a while, getting into it with Barber as they come across the finish line. 3.5 minutes left as we have a battle between the 2 boomers for the 7th place spot. So let's see what happens. Barber gets a good run over that tabletop there, takes the inside line. Mojo actually has to push to the outside. I don't know if he did that out of necessity or just tried to take an alternate line choice from Barber, but Barber was able to make a little bit of space, and then Mojo earned it back pretty quickly. Mojo, man, Mojo's been not only working on his speed since he joined Wicked Racing, but he's really been kind of trying to improve his racecraft. You can see that he's not settling with following Barber. He is trying to find optional line choices around. He didn't choose to clean Barber there, but he did choose to take a deeper inside line and maybe try to take a line away from Barber. So really impressive riding here from Mojo, as he is certainly a wonderful peer to have on the track in the C-Class. You know that he'll ride you clean. You know that he's not going to take you out intentionally. And he is going to try to find a way around you, and that is always fun to watch. Mr. Flowers back there on the Throttle Junkies Yamaha trying to find his way into this battle, as Van Meel makes a critical mistake. I don't know what happened, but Van Meel shows up out of nowhere coming out of the pits all the way back physically in 7th. So we move up here. We still see that Dig is in 1st, Shearer in 2nd, J-Lab now sits in 3rd, Spooby in 4th, Panda in 5th, Barber in 6th, and Van Meel falls back to 7th. I don't know how, now his cuts are starting to punish him. As you'll see, it pushes him back to 9th so far. So he takes a far wide line there, and Flowers gets into him a little bit, almost takes Flowers out, but then Van Meel ends up connecting with him in the air and getting stuck in the fence. So pain, just inconceivable amounts of pain right now for Van Meel, as he is having some very, very tough difficulties in this moto. So let me actually take a look here at the C-Class points. Van Meel has a 13-point gap over Dig. But Dig sits in 1st, Van Meel is in 9th. So let me do this this quick math here. If Dig ends up getting 1st in this moto, if Van Meel does not earn a single position and maintains 9th place by the end of this moto and Dig wins, they will be tied for the red plates in C-Class. So that's how important this moto is to Van Meel. That's how critical his riding is right now in this moto. He is looking at not only potentially losing the red plate in C-Class, or I'm sorry, he's not only looking at potentially losing points on the C-Class championship here at Maryland, he's potentially looking at losing the red plates entirely. If he does not hold on to that 9th place spot, then he will lose them. Dig will come out as the series leader at the end of Moto 1. Of course, nothing is official until the end of Moto 2. But Dig's here. He's ready to play. He has grinded his way up through this championship. Some would hope that Van Meel has been taking this seriously because his alarm's about to go off, man. Dig putting in the work. So Van falls back to 9th off of his cuts, and there it is. Van now looks at a 10th place spot. He needs to make up a single position. And if not, then he needs to hope that he can get out front and stay out front ahead of Dig in Moto number 2, because it is all on the line. Yeah, that's correct, LeFou. As of now, at the end of this moto, if the points run as they are, Dig will have a 1-point lead in this championship. J-Lab still holding down the 3rd place spot with Panda trying to not let him go anywhere. Panda would like to find himself on the podium as well at the end of this moto. Panda currently sits 3rd in the championship. However, he is about 32 points down on this battle here for the lead. So Panda at this point just trying to maintain damage control, hold on to whatever points he can get, and hopefully come out with a top 3 spot at the end of this C-Class series. But with 2 rounds left after tonight, anything could still happen. So Panda is still very much in this title chase as long as he can keep his racing clean for the next 2 weeks. You can see Dig on the other side there. The gap that he has on Shearer is massive. Uh-oh, Spooby makes a mistake. Barber's going to get the inside drive and make the pass into 5th. So he's got Spooby and Panda waiting to answer. Actually, I take that back. It will be 4th. Panda did go down and loses 2 positions to Barber and Spooby. So Barber now finds himself back in the top 4. Mr. Spooby on the Start Your Systems Kawasaki is in 5th. And Panda in 6th place. So just 2 laps to go just as I say that, the white flag is out for your race leader Dig, who now only has 1 more lap to go here in Moto number 1 as he makes a mistake and blows that berm, but not to worry. He has got a very comfortable lead on the number 2 spot of Shearer. Barber feeling the pressure hard right now from the Start Your Systems rider and the Sky rider. Barber makes a little bit of mistake and gets pushed wide there in the rollers. That allows Spooby to catch up even more, so he is feeling the pressure. He can hear that bike barking behind him. Takes the inside line. He's going to try to ride defensively and protect it. He's got 1 lap to do so. None of these riders want to get too aggressive in these corners and tuck the front ends, which is common to do on Maryland, so they have to ride fast, but they've got to ride smart. Panda actually goes down, so this is a bar-to-bar battle practically between the Start Your Systems rider and the Backyard MX moderator, Barber. Both riders scrubbing some speed off the triples, taking the inside line. Let's see if they go inside to inside. Barber does. That means Spooby's going to carry a little more speed around the uphill, but Barber gets to the next corner quicker. Holds his line down. Uh-oh, Spooby gets into the back tire a little bit, manages to keep it up on 2 wheels. So Barber's still holding it down, man. What a battle to see as they've got about half a track left before the checkered flag waves. Barber gets the inside, but not cleanly. Spooby rails the outside. The line choice here on Maryland is pretty even, but there are fast lines in every corner. Barber might be feeling a little bit of breathing room now, but this is no time for caution. He definitely needs to maintain speed, stay on the throttle, and get away. One more sweeper corner here to go before the finish line. Can Barber do it? He just needs to hold on clean. Uh-oh, Spooby actually is the one who ends up making a mistake and swinging wide. So there you go. Barber finishes in 4th, Mr. Spooby in 5th. Here's a final last stretch battle between Panda and Flowers. I think all their laps didn't count. Sink Envy finding himself battling with Mojo here. So correct scoring will have to be fixed during the points process, which Paradox can take care of, because there are a lot of laps that didn't count. Van Meel with a backflip over the finish. Says he's in 9th, but we'll just have to see. Or sorry, it says he's in 10th, but we'll just have to see. So we'll let the racing finish out here before we capture results, send them over to our boy Paradox, and take this back to a quick commercial break. And when we return, we will have the final moto of the night for C-Class. There you have it, guys. That will do it for C-Class Moto number 1. Again, it's Dig who takes the number 1 spot, Shearer in 2nd, J-Lab in 3rd, Barber in 4th, and Sir Lose-A-Lots, a.k.a. Mr. Spooby, on the Start Your Systems Kawasaki in 5th. That's the unofficial results as of now.